Hello! Not long ago I did a review of a phone from Oukitel. It was called the WP19. It's kind of a rugged phone. It had a pretty big battery in it, 8,500 mAh, and I left it on just sitting there not doing anything for like 2 weeks and it still had charge. It's like standby forever. I didn't think you'd ever need to go bigger than this, but Oukitel have decided to prove me wrong. This is their new product. It's called the WP19. It is another rugged camera and pretty much blows away what the WP27 did. Let me show you what we got here. Kind of normal stuff in the box. You've got one of these little keys to help you get the SIM card thing out. It actually takes 2 SIM cards and a micro SD card at the same time. Got some brief instructions. We got a PD charger. Charges up to 33 watts for a rapid charge. No good to me because it's European. USB-C, USB-C cable, and here is the phone itself in this little bag. And look at this. Can you just see? Let me show you compared to this guy. This was the previous fat boy. It is now much fatter. Why is this? Why does it weigh about the same as a house brick? I can't even get my hand around it properly. 22,000 mAh battery in this. That's kind of insane. I'll give you some stats about what they say you can do with that. They're saying 36 hours of video, 123 hours of listening to music, 122 hours call time, or 2,588 hours of standby. I haven't thought that into days, but that's a little bit crazy. Other than that, it shares a lot of similarities with the WP27. The MediaTek Helio G99 processor, a slightly less RAM. It's got 8 gig of RAM versus 12 on this guy. They always quote like this 8 plus 16 saying it's 24 gigs of RAM really, but I think that's essentially your paging to disk. It's not proper actual RAM in there, so I'm going to call it an 8 gig model. It's got the same IP68, IP69K and MIL standard 810H, which says it's sort of dustproof, waterproof, and it's very hard to crack the screen. Because the battery is so big, you can also reverse charge on it, so you can use this to charge another device, a bit like having a power bank. In fact, the biggest power bank I got, which is this one, is only 20,000 mAh batteries. This is smaller than this phone. This is a little crazy, but a very useful feature, especially if you're going out and about for a long time and you can't plug in anywhere proper, I suppose. Seems to have much the same camera as well, 64 megapixel Samsung camera. There's a macro camera, a night vision camera. On this one I was slightly disappointed because it only took stills, it didn't take video at night vision, which would have been good fun. Some IR emitters down the side there. It also says it has an underwater mode, and they show some on their website snorkeling with it. Yeah, IP68 is waterproof, but it's not like forever. IP68 rating means it can go to 1.5 meters for 30 minutes before it fails, essentially. That's how you meet that standard. So I don't think it's like something you'd take on a, like, let's snorkel for 2 hours. 120 Hz refresh rate again, 2460 by 1080 resolution, all pretty similar. So let's take this guy off. Let's charge this up and see what it can do. Android 13 again, latest stuff. Yeah, let's check it out.
Nice little Android feature is be able to install a phone from another phone. You just put it next to it, so I did that to make things nice and easy. I then put this into a 3D benchmark. This is running the Slingshot benchmark, which I generally use to show the 3D performance of phones, which is where it really is going to struggle on a lower power device or something without any sort of 3D graphics capability.
So slightly interesting results, despite the W19 having slightly less memory, but absolutely the same processor elsewhere. Got a slightly higher score. Maybe I didn't cancel the running apps. It's very close though. They're pretty much the same phone to a large extent. So everything I showed you in the video about this one really is all about this one as well. So I'm not going to go into great detail about what we have here. Sort of focus more on the differences, all the extra features. So I guess one thing to talk about is the sort of ruggedness of it. Once again, we've got under here the sort of flap that you have to get in to charge it. It's quite hard to see black on black, and that's a USB-C charger obviously. The SIM and TF cards, or micro SD cards they call it, is here, and it's kind of, make sure you don't bite your nails off because you've got to get under there, and then you've got the normal little hole there for where this tool comes in. Oh, trying to do this through a viewfinder is fun. Press and click, and then you've got to get another nail under there to pull this out. And you can see there that you can put in 2 SIMs and the micro SD card, so you can expand the storage as well as having double SIMs for different networks or different if you go into different countries and stuff, you just have to add one in instead of swapping them out. One interesting thing I noticed about this, as you saw, I cloned this over from this one, and this is the 27. And if I go to the normal screens, it's like got some of the stuff I put there, and then if I want to see all the apps, I sort of scroll up like that. On this one, same OS version, I seem to have all the apps here, and if I scroll up, nothing happens. I can't find the setting for that. I've looked for it. It doesn't seem to be there. We've got the same thing. We've got, we turn it off. We've got face, if I can show it my face. Here I am. We've got the fingerprint, just stroke that bit, and that's good. Volume there, and we've got this special one touch key here, and you can set this up with different things. So a single press, I decided will take me to camera, and double press turns the torch on. Then I've got long press, opens this thing they call outdoors, which has got all these little funny apps in to do things, but you can set that up to what you like. You can set it up to open different apps, or to do things like get to the camera and turn the light on and stuff like that. Pretty useful. Haven't tried this, but let's see what happens. If I plug USB in the new 19, and then I plug the other side of that USB cable in the old 27 here, nothing seems to happen. Do I need to tell it to charge or something? Power option finally in USB, and if we say charge connected device, aha! Something happened. What happened? So if we say charge, comes into charge. Okay, that seems to be happy now. It's got the charge light on. It's got charging there, but it didn't seem to like it when it's on. No, it's absolutely fine now. It's charging away. Alright, that took a couple of goes, but it seems okay once you get it. So that is the chargeability of this one to charge a device. It doesn't have to be a phone, of course. Could be anything you like, as long as you've got the right cable, USB to something, you can go ahead and charge stuff. Now, when I was making my last video about this, the 27, somebody commented about, you know, why is he watching a grown man play a bunch of games? And it's really because any old device can do email, web browsing, YouTube, your basic Android apps like that. It's when it comes to something like my SIM, which wasn't really written for mobile, or other things like emulators, that you can really show the power of these devices. So that's one of the reasons I do it. Other than that, I like playing games, so I'm always doing stuff like that. So we have this in quite high resolution there, so let's drop that down to about there. And let's go ahead and change the level, use the city level, and then start the sim, but let's turn the drony noise off. And let's see what sort of frame rate we get. Well, at the moment, we're getting a good 60 frames a second, as you might imagine. Yeah, that's not bad, is it? Ooh. Oh man. I urge everybody that thinks I'm really bad at this to try playing a game on your phone through the viewfinder of a camera, because it's not that easy. But yeah, this is a pretty good phone. It's very, very similar to the 27, as mentioned there. The big difference is this huge battery. I've just never seen anything that's got a 22,000 milliamp battery. It's completely insane, really. But you know, if you want to play games on a long flight, watch big movies, go away and not have access to power and still get to use your phone, then this is clearly the one for you, especially if you tend to drop it in puddles and mud and on the sand and things and don't want to get ruined. That will do fine. But yeah, this is playing fine, as you might expect, really. There's really not that much else I can say about it. The camera's exactly the same. I've got my same moans here about... okay, let's point it out so we can see. That's my camera. In all the special modes it does, like infrared, which is its night mode, it doesn't do video. It only does photos. If we look at the micro, which is the close-up, again this works brilliantly as long as you've got enough light there. But again, it's just photos. There is no way of doing videos and doing that. So I can take a nice picture, but I can't take some nice video. So that's exactly the same as on the 27. And that is really it. There's really not enough differences to talk about anything else. It's a great big lump of a phone. It's really something that if you really want the big battery, that's what you need. This has already had a big battery. This battery is huge. That is the killer feature of this thing. Absolutely humongous battery. It will last you a long time. I talked about Android being the latest. I've since found out that Android 14 is out, and there's no update available for this yet. I will check with them to see when it's coming, because I need to check some stuff works with Android 14 for my own use.
So really the best way of describing the WP19 is it's like the WP27 but with an even bigger battery. I think that's a fair assessment of it. It's got a few little differences, like the ability to charge and this new little app they put in and things, but essentially it is almost the same. And if you watch the video of this one, you'll get a lot more dive into some of the other applications we use in this. This doesn't have the plastic covering that this does. Clearly they've decided that they didn't need that, and this is tough enough. So it's a slightly different look to it. Certainly the camera at the back is all a bit different and stuff, but it is essentially a power bank with a phone attached. So if you're into sort of weightlifting, or you don't mind having something amazingly heavy in your pocket, and you really want that max power out of it, so you literally must use your phone all the time without charging it, or you're away for ages without power, then this is the phone you're gonna want. For most other people, it would be like, we'll have this because it's not so heavy. But you know, you make your minds up, you get the phone that is useful to you. Anyway, many thanks to Oukitel for sending this over, and of course there's links down below if you want to check this out in more detail. Hope that's been helpful, and I'll catch you next one. Bye for now. Well, you've made it to the end of the video, so thanks once again for watching. If you like what you saw, then please consider subscribing, and if you really like what you saw, then be sure to check out the link to my blog for a variety of ways in which you can help support this channel.